Here I got this black walnut clamped to the vise, or clamped to the bench here, and this limb came up, and then right about here it does a nice upward bend. But it's pretty straight off of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come through and take the heat gun and heat treat this area here, and then clamp it past straight after it's all warm. And then I'm going to flip it around and I'll do the other one too. And at the end I might have to do the handle area and straighten the whole thing to line up the string. But these are way too bent to even put the rawhide on them yet. So that's what I'm going to do now is straighten these out, and one step closer to getting some rawhide and being able to start taking this wood down quite a bit. So here we go with that. Okay, this is my setup here. I got that limb clamped in like I was just talking about. And then this is a box. I seen somebody make one of these boxes on Paleo Planet. And so I made one because it works good. You have a hole in top for your gun, and then you have put some nice big holes in the side so you can watch what's going on. And if you're tempering a belly, you can look for color. And in this case, I can move it around up and down this area where it's going to bend, and not have to sit here and hold the gun until my arm falls off. So I'm going to heat this and hopefully straighten this out with no problems, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. I'm slowly heating this area up. I don't want to get any color on the wood at all, because I don't want to do any damage to the fibers, to the cell structure of the wood. But I still got some room to play here yet. But I want to heat this up evenly throughout the whole piece of wood. So I'm going to start this. This is kind of just like preheating, and then after it gets nice and warm, I will I'll take this out, and then I'll try to heat the back side and the bottom side as much as I can, and keep this area hot before I start cranking down on this to straighten it out. I'm wondering if this gets hot enough on this side, if that's going to come down from expansion and drop that clamp off. We'll see. But for now, I'm just going to let it sit here and heat this up. I got a little wedge underneath the bowl right here where the bend is. Right at that point is where the limb kind of goes up. So I got a little wedge right there, and that's going to keep the limb from bending right there, and then be the hinge to bend it on. So a few more minutes on this, and then I'll take it out and start heating the rest of it up. Alright, it's been on here for like 15 minutes now. I'm going to take this off. Move it out of the way. I'm going to start heating up some other areas. It's kind of tough to get the bottom edge, but you can kind of bounce it off the bench here and get that pretty good. So after I feel that this is hot enough, then like I said, I'll crank down on that a little bit until I think it's straight. Actually, just a little past straight, because it's going to come back a little bit. Then bend it down. I want to go past where I want it just a bit, because the memory, it'll have a little memory and come back. So I'm going to try to go a little past what I think is straight. I think that's hot enough. Got real nice so far. It's still not quite not past straight yet. It's straight right now. I should actually have the heat gun on this while I'm doing it. In fact, I'm gonna. Okay, there we go. Little past straight. So now I'll sit and I'll let that cool down, and hopefully it'll come out straight. I'm just coming back here and checking this after about another 15 minutes, and it's still warm. And before you take when you're using heat to bend a limb like this, you want to straighten it. You want to make sure that it's completely cool, and not just on the surface either. You want to completely cool all the way in the middle. And this is still a little warm here, so I'm going to give it some more time. But like I said, it's already been like 20 minutes, so it holds heat for a while. But make sure it's completely cool before you take it out of the clamps. Alright, feels like it's been about an hour. I was sitting here waiting and staring at it for a while, but then I finally figured I'll go find something else to do. So I come back, it's been about an hour. Nice and cool. So let's see if this tip comes back up at all, or if it kept all the. Oh, coming up quite a bit. If it comes up too much, I might have to come back and heat treat it again, but we shall see. Jeez, it's quite a ways there. Yeah, I might have to redo this. Let me see. Yep, I'm going to have to come through again. Move this down a bit. I'm going to have to come through and bend it a little bit. I did straighten it there, but where I didn't apply the heat up in here, this kept the spring. What I should have done is, after I got it where I wanted it, I should have came and heat treated this whole area. So now I'll just move it up and I'll do the same thing again, except when I get it to where I want it, like right there, I'll heat treat this whole area, and then it won't have the memory and come back up again. But I did straighten out a little bit, so it wasn't all for nothing. So okay, a little bit more work on this one. Alright, there's the setup again. Now what I did this time is I cranked the tip down a little past straight to where I wanted it, because I know it flexed down there without breaking, because that's what it was. So I got it down there again, and now I'm going to take and heat treat the bow down into that tip. And what that's going to do is it's going to lock in that bend, hopefully. It's going to lock it in, so when I release it, it doesn't come up so much. Hopefully it just comes up to straight. Okay, I let this sit for quite a while. And like I said, I had clamped this down over straight. So let's see how much it comes up after being heat treated. Well, it's coming up a lot, but it stops right there. So that's going to be perfect. Let me check and see how straight it is. Yeah, it's looking okay. It's not perfectly straight, but nothing is. So that's good. Now I'll flip it around. I'll do the other side. Like I said, I might have to come back and then straighten the whole bow and the handle. But if I have to do that, I won't do that till a little later here. I have to take more wood off. So yeah, other side.